Okay, so we've done a lot of work so far to log the user in, check for any errors, and then grab all the user data. But we're going to focus on something really short and sharp in this part, just to give you a break if you're following this all the way through. Now, just one thing to mention, because we've created all these different functions inside of our users.php file, for example, this gives us the ability to be really flexible and use code over and over again, which is obviously the point of creating a function. So we can use logged in again and again. In this part, we're going to check if a user is currently active, if a user's account is active while they're browsing the site, and if their account for any reason is deactivated, i.e. I change active from 1 to 0 for any particular user, we're going to log that user out. We're going to force that user to be logged out. So what I'm going to do is, within if logged in equals true, within this block, I'm going to create another conditional statement. Now I want to check here if the user is equal. If the user is user's account is active or not. Now we've already created a function for this called userActive, and we use this within the login. Remember, if the user's account has not been activated, we can't log them in. We haven't actually created the ability to activate the account yet, but we'll be doing that later on. So we can use this function again. So while the user is browsing the website, if we activate their account, then deactivate their account, then it will force them to log out. Simple as that. It's something that's not often considered. So I'm going to say if user active is equal to false, and what do we pass in here? Well, we pass in user data username, and remember that we're grabbing the username from here. So let's go back and take a look at our user active function. We're sanitizing the username. We are selecting the count, the total rows from users, where the username is equal to username and active is equal to 1. Otherwise, if it's equal to 1, we return true. Otherwise, false. So so in here, what do we do? Well, we're going to use session destroy as we used in the logout.php script. We could in fact just redirect them to the logout script, but if a user, for example, has modified a browser to disable headers or not allow any header redirects, then we don't get the effect that we want. We don't actually log them out, because if we're just redirecting like this, location logout.php, then this might not work for a user. I'm here going to session destroy, and then I'm going to redirect them to the index page, and then I'm going to exit this script just here. So let's go ahead and test this. I can be happily browsing the site, nothing's happening. I can be clicking on these links that we haven't created pages for yet, blah 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 blah, and then I go into my database as an administrator. I edit this row, I deactivate Alex's account and click go, and then I refresh and I'm logged out. Simple as that. So that's a really great way to have a lot more control over your users, and if you do want to deactivate their account while they're browsing the site, you can do so. And that's just a demonstration of how we've reused a function that we used for an entirely different thing. We used it for the login process, and now we've just used it to check if a user's account is active while they're browsing the site. So relatively straightforward and a bit of a break from all of the long stuff we've been doing. But there we go. We have successfully created this functionality to log a user out if we deactivate their account.